This episode is sponsored by Cash App. Cash App is the easiest way to send, spend, and save money. Send or request cash from friends and family when they owe you for groceries, holiday gifts, or a round of drinks. Cash App is available for anyone 13 or older. Download it and use code Babish to get $15 for free, and $10 will be donated to No Kid Hungry.
What's that? Candy machine. Kelp Nougat Crunch. I'll only be gone a second. Hey! Oh!
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Binging with Babish, where this week we're taking a look at the Kelp Nougat Crunch from SpongeBob, a candy bar I've been dreaming about since childhood that contains only 3 known ingredients: kelp, nougat, and crunch. Here before me, I have some sheets of toasted nori. I don't know if this is technically kelp or not, but it's going to bring some great oceanic flavors to our candy bar. Not something I ever thought I would actively seek out, but here we are. Now for the crunch, I'm going to make a layer of good old-fashioned Rice Krispie treat. I'm starting by generously lubricating a quarter sheet with nonstick spray and lining it with parchment paper. Molten Rice Krispie treat is about the stickiest substance known to man, so the more nonstick precautions taken, the better. Over on the stovetop in a high-walled saute pan, we're going to melt and cook 20 grams of unsalted butter for 4 to 5 minutes over medium heat until it begins to lightly brown. That's right, we're making brown butter Rice Krispie treats. Next up, we're adding 100 grams of miniature marshmallows, stirring and cooking those for about a minute until they're fully melted. Add 50 grams of puffed rice bran cereal, stir until homogeneously gooey, kill the heat, add a little bit of salt, make sure that everybody has gotten to know everybody, and then dump it out into your prepared pan. Then you got about 2 minutes before the sky starts to harden, so while everything's warm and malleable, try to get everything as flat as possible. Like I always say, an uneven candy bar is made by an uneven mind. Now we're going to let this cool completely while we make an even stickier substance, homemade nougat. In a small bowl, I'm combining 35 grams of malted milk powder, 40 grams of powdered sugar, and 9 grams of sifted wakame powder. This is our actual kelp that's going in the candy bar. Go ahead and tiny whisk that together until no clumps remain. Let's give this a little taste out of curiosity, and it's good. It's weird, but it's good, just like yours truly. Now, nougat is basically a hot sugar meringue, so don your safety glasses and in the bowl of a stand mixer, combine 2 large egg whites with 50 grams of glucose syrup. Meanwhile, over on the stovetop, we're combining 475 grams of granulated sugar, 550 more grams of glucose syrup, and 150 grams of water. We're going to bring this to a simmer and continue cooking over medium-low heat until it reaches 250 degrees Fahrenheit, by which time we'll hopefully have completed our unfinished business over in the stand mixer, which is to whip the egg whites and glucose syrup to stiff peaks before slowly and carefully drizzling in the boiling sugar mixture. Try not to hit the sides of the bowl, but try not to hit the wire whisk either. Then once all the sugar's been added, we're letting this guy whip on high speed for 8 full minutes, during which time it should become smooth and glossy. At this point, we're going to add a teaspoon and a half of vanilla paste, and working quickly so that the nougat does not drop below 140 degrees Fahrenheit, fold in our kelp and malted milk powder mixture. And there you have it, folks, kelp nougat. I don't recommend tasting this until it's cooled completely if you at all value your mouth skin, but I'm happy to report that this has graduated from pretty good to surprisingly good. So we're going to scoop it out onto our awaiting Rice Krispie treat, and once again try to press and spread it out into an even layer while it's still warm. You're going to want to keep whatever tool you're using lubed up with nonstick spray, preferably sprayed at you by a friend, but eventually you're going to give up on that when you realize you could just use another sheet pan to press it out flat and even. Just make sure that it's appropriately oiled, press it down with all of your upper body strength, and pull it off to reveal that it didn't really make a difference, and if anything made things slightly worse. So just press it out as evenly as you can and remind yourself that it's not your job to change people's perception of how well you make candy. Oh yeah, we're also going to put down a couple of those sheets of nori, likewise while this guy's nice and warm, otherwise it will not stick. Now once cooled, sometimes nougat can turn out a little brittle, so we got to slice it into clean, even bars while it's still a little warm. Go ahead and turn it out onto a lightly oiled countertop. Admire the effectiveness of your non-stick precautions. Now I'm going to start by trimming off the edges, not only to make snacks, but so our bars have clean, even, edges. Then we want to cut this down into individual bars. Now the bars on the show looked like a short, stout rectangle, so I'm going to make these a little inappropriately large, and despite having a ruler right there, I'm not going to use it and end up with uneven bars. Might as well eat my mistakes, right? But as it turns out, too soon. The nougat hasn't set yet. It needs to sit overnight before its final texture is achieved. Before that happens, I'm going to enrobe these in white chocolate. I did not temper this chocolate properly, so I'm just hoping that it's going to set at room temperature, and about halfway through the the process, I had the bright idea to make these guys green, on account of them being kelp candy bars and what have you. So once the chocolate has miraculously set, we are left with the final product, the Kelp Nougat Crunch. Let's take a look at that cross-section. Beautiful, looks like a candy bar, but has a taste, and I'm happy to report it actually tastes really good. I'm sorry, you probably didn't understand that. It tastes really good. Thanks again to Cash App for sponsoring today's episode. Use Cash App to send, spend, and save your money. You can invest in any stock or buy Bitcoin with just $1. Cash App also comes with a customizable debit card that will be laser printed and mailed to you. When you download the app, use code Babish to get $15 for free, and $10 will be donated to No Kid Hungry. Cash App is available for anyone 13 or older. Download it at the link in the video description.